This video goes out to everybody struggling to pass their barber or cosmetology exam. And based upon past experience, the very fact that you're watching these videos suggests you're either struggling to pass it or you're worried about not being able to pass it when you take it. And you know what? You're right to be worried, because I'm sorry to tell you, the schools do a lousy job of preparing you for your test. Now, we're going to talk about something which has been really troubling us here in our office for a few weeks now. Students have been calling us in the last few weeks, and they say things like, I took my test and there was a few questions. I'm not even sure what they were asking me. There were words missing in the question. I'm not sure what the question even was. Or they're telling us there was 2 or 3 answers and I know they were both correct. Or they're telling us there was no correct answer. All 4 were wrong. Now, okay, some students think they know the answer, but I'm going to tell you, last week we went online and we bought the test from PSI. There, I said it, in case they want to sue me. I'm okay with that. You know, aside from having passed my barber and Cosmo test in 7 states, I have a law degree, so I'll defend myself. I don't want to have to, but I just feel like I need to speak the truth about this. Okay? We went online, we bought 3 tests from PSI, and the students are right. In every single one of those tests, there were questions where I didn't even know what they were asking me. There were words missing. What is the question here? Or there were 2 correct answers, or there was no correct answer. So we're going to talk about those. In today's video, we're going to talk about the first test. Okay? The first test I took, and I'm going to read this very slowly, so those of you who are really interested in paying attention can write it down. The question said, which layer of the skin contains the hair follicles? Which layer of the skin contains the hair follicles? And the answer choices they gave you was epidermis, dermis, subcutaneous, and medulla. Epidermis, dermis, subcutaneous, and medulla. Now, according to PSI, the correct answer to which layer of the skin contains the hair follicles is the epidermis. Unfortunately, I have here on my desk the Milady book from Barber, Cosmetology, the Pivot Point books from Barber in Cosmetology. And according to all of those textbooks, the dermis is the layer of the skin containing the hair follicles. The Barber book on page 225, for those of you taking notes, on 225 it says the hair follicles contained in the dermis. In the Milady book on page 63, it says the hair follicles are contained in the dermis. In the Pivot Point book on page 602, it says the hair follicle is contained in the dermis. Now, I guess the folks at PSI writing your test didn't bother to read the textbooks, which is kind of a frightening thought. The people making up your test questions never actually read the textbook. But this is the question. Now, here's the other part that's really frightening. California and several other states have now totally assigned their tests to PSI. PSI is designing the test questions and answers. And I just read you a question that's completely wrong. Now, to me, that suggests collusion between the State Board of Barbering and Cosmetology and PSI to guarantee you fail your test. Now, why would the State Board of Barbering or Cosmetology and PSI want you to fail your test? A very famous man once said, follow the money, and you follow the money. If you fail your test, you pay the State Board again to take it, and you pay PSI again to take it. And given that the pass rate nationally for cosmetologists is about 50% and barbers 35%, there's hundreds of thousands of students across this country every year failing their test repeatedly and paying the State Board and PSI over and over and over again. To wrap this video up, which layer of the skin contains the hair follicles? Every book, and I have all of them here on my desk, says the dermis. PSI says the epidermis. How are you supposed to pass your test? Thank you for your time, and make sure our second and third video, because we're going to have 2 more videos just on this with very specific test questions with wrong answers. Thank you and hope to see you soon.